TV. Joining us now on the Megacast is Chris Abigt. They are one of the many performers and entertainers and other artists that you'll see very soon at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair coming up July 21st through the 23rd. Chris, thanks for being with us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So first off, tell us a little bit about your artwork and what you design, what you'll be bringing to this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair.
All right. Well, I am an oil painter, and so I will be bringing oil paintings. And my paintings are landscapes with a twist. I like to take a real place and kind of create a whimsical feel, adding in the elements of what it felt like with the wind blowing and the light changing, and just kind of creating an atmosphere with my paintings. So that's what I'll be bringing.
So there's an almost photo-like quality to your paintings and to those landscapes, and that's partially on purpose. You want to, as you said, create a whimsical feel to these different environments that you are painting. How do you get to that effect when it comes down to it, especially using oil?
Right. Well, that's a good question. I've been painting my whole life since like 4th grade, and I have been a very traditional landscape painter for probably at least 40 of those years in photorealism. So my background is very photorealistic, but I also have this whimsical side, and I've always been a doodler, and I like color, and I like color theory. And so really, the whimsical ones are starting out in photorealism to create the place, because I want it to be significant if someone has been there before, that they can look at it and recognize, I've been here, but it wasn't quite like this. And then I, with some color theory and elements of design, I like to just whimsify, mixing, for instance, some curly trees that create the wind blowing, and the lines on the water to create the surface tension that separates the reflections from what's going on up above, and that kind of thing. So just a little bit of photorealism mixed with design elements, and then a lot of whimsy.
Find more information and see some of Chris's art by visiting chrisabigtart.com. chrisabigtart.com. That's CHRISABIGTART.com for more information, or visit the Ann Arbor Art Fair.com to find information on all the artists, entertainers, and other activities at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair. Again, that's coming up Thursday of this week, July 21st through Saturday, July 23rd, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Thursday, and Friday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Saturday, for those of you that would like to join Chris and other artists at the Ann Arbor Art Fair. So as you're creating these paintings, you mentioned that you are a lifelong doodler. You are someone that has always enjoyed drawing. Painting has also been a long time passion of yours. So as you're beginning these pieces, sometimes based on real locations, sometimes of your own creation altogether, where does that process start with you in designing this and understanding where you kind of want to go as you finish this out, and then executing it?
Yeah, well, it really starts with going to the place. I kind of have a rule for myself that I don't really paint anything unless I've stood there in the place, hiked around. I just take a lot of videos and pictures just so I can get a real feel for what the place is. And then when I get home, I compile some of that for reference material and start out with just a real big brush and block in all the values, the lights and the darks and the shadows, just to start building. And I build everything from the background to the foreground. So very, very loose background to start with. And then as I come forward, I'll add some of the design elements and create the atmosphere through that. So
what sort of environments when you are going out? So when you are going out and exploring all these different places and you're looking for that next landscape to paint, what are you looking for in these locations as something that would trigger you to say, I want to paint this. This can be turned into something really nice?
Yes. Yeah, that's a great question. We love the national parks. A lot of my paintings are based on national parks or state parks. Places, I look for water, rocks, trees. Those are kind of my three elements. Not everything has all of that, but just interesting structures. This is the Red River Gorge in Kentucky, where there are a lot of natural stone arches and foliage to work with and water to work with, interesting light. So it can take a couple days for me to find just the right, feel with the right light and all of that. So I like to linger longer and hike around a lot. So this is the coast of Maine out near Acadia National Park. So really that's mostly it. Horseshoe Bend down in Arizona. Mm-hmm. So all of these pieces will be with me in Ann Arbor.
So Chris, about how long does it take you then to create one of these pieces from, just considering all the elements that go into it, from the research that you do, the picture taking, the video taking, and then the drawing and actually, how long does one of these pieces take to complete?
It's funny that you should ask that, because my husband and I were having this conversation over dinner the other night, because by the time you add in all of the hiking and the picture taking and the deciding and all of that, is just way too long. But it's all fun. I also work on 4 or 5 at the same time, because I use oil and I like it to be very wet when I use it, because I like to do a lot of glazing, which is a color over another color, but some of that bottom color still shows through. There's a lot of wet that has to dry in order for me to keep the colors the way I want them. So I have to set them aside to dry, and I'll pick up another one and work. I don't really keep track from start to finish how long it takes, but I would say if I'm working on something this size, which is 18 by 36, I would give myself 6 months from start to finish. Wow. To maybe cycle that one through and another one that size. And that is when I'm having some real good studio time. During the art fair season, I don't get a lot of real good studio time, but anyway.
We're joined by Chris Abigt. She is one of the many artists you'll see at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair, July 21st through the 23rd. That's this week, Thursday, through this week, Saturday in Ann Arbor. 30 blocks of the city, hundreds, in fact, thousands of artists, entertainers, and other activities that you can select from. Over 3 art fairs, all in Ann Arbor. More information on theannarborartfair.com. Theannarborartfair.com for more information. You mentioned that you work with your husband. You own your own gallery in Iowa with him. He is also an artist. He's a master picture framer. I'll talk about that dynamic and how that also adds to the artistic value and the output of these different paintings.
Okay, well, yes, we have, when I was in college, I wanted to do art. When he was in college, he wanted to run a business. And so 37 years ago, we moved to Ottumwa, which is where we live, and there was this art gallery for sale, and we bought it and figured out how to do it all. So it's been my husband and I, and then we've had a full-time person that has worked for us for almost that long. Her name is Annie, and we could not do it without her because we leave a lot and she runs the place while we're gone. So it's been great. My husband's just super supportive and has always been a great encouragement. And it's good teamwork. And I couldn't set the booth up without him either. He's the muscle.
We're joined by Chris Abigt. She and her husband will be at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair, July 21st through 23rd in Ann Arbor. More information on all 3 of the art shows, the entertainment, the other activities, and of course, all the artists that will be there on theannarborartfair.com, theannarborartfair.com for more information. So you're coming in from Iowa. You obviously travel for various art shows. I would imagine that also gives you an opportunity to explore some of the landscapes in different areas of the U.S. and other places that you visit. Any plans while you're in Michigan, while you're in the Ann Arbor area, to check out some landscapes?
As a matter of fact, well, I would like to hear more about what's around the Ann Arbor, but we are definitely going to stop at the Indiana Dunes on our way home because we have never been there. And it's so close to where we are, and we always drive by, but this time we're going to take an extra day or 2 and actually stop at Indiana Dunes National Park. So I'm looking super forward to that.
Yeah, and so many great places also in Michigan along the way from Indiana and along that drive too. There's so many different great little hidden gems too. And what we always do is when we have a particular individual from Michigan that from Michigan's travel organization. From Pure Michigan that joins us on our show regularly. He always says your trip begins at michigan.org. Okay. So if you're looking for a place to go along the way, great, lots of great hidden gems there.
Okay, great. I will look.
We're joined by Chris Abigt. She is a painter that will be at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair, July 21st through 23rd in Ann Arbor. More information on theannarborartfair.com. That's theannarborartfair.com. And Chris, we asked this of all the artists that we interview for any of these art shows that are coming up here in Michigan this summer. There's something that's really interesting about the dynamic that artists get with art lovers and certainly the art buyers at these shows. As an artist yourself, what do you get out of that experience and having that dialogue with people that are either simply enjoying the sights of your art or even better yet, maybe enjoying them and buying your pieces?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of encouragement and enthusiasm. You know, I didn't realize how much that was important to me until we didn't have art shows in 2020. And I realized that I get a lot of encouragement to keep painting and doing what I do by talking to people at art fairs and people that purchase my work, certainly, but just even people that come in and admire, even if they don't make a purchase, just asking the questions and talking about what inspires me and what I'm thinking about when I'm painting, and just having those conversations with people is just super inspiring and super important. So I love being able to be back out there doing art fairs.
Information on her art can be found at chrisabigtart.com. That's chrisabigtart.com. For more information, learn more about her, learn more about her art, and even shop for some of her art. If you're not able to get out to this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair, we highly encourage you to do so. You have 3 days out there, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week, July 21st and 22nd, Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. So you can go before work, you can go after work, you can go in between your breaks if you're in the Ann Arbor area. Saturday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. So you got all day on Saturday for some fun activities. Exploring 3 different art fairs, exploring a lot of entertainment, other activities as well. 30 blocks of the city, over 1,000 artists, including Chris Abigt, who's with us on the Oakland County Megacast. So from my producer's notes, this is your first time participating in the Ann Arbor Art Fair. What brings you to Ann Arbor? What about this fair was special to you, Chris?
Well, I'm really looking forward to doing it. I've heard such great things from other friends who have participated, and they were super enthusiastic about it. So I thought, well, let's apply this year and see if we get in, and we did. So we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be great, I think.
Yeah, great experience. So many people that are in the Ann Arbor area, certainly even in the city of Ann Arbor, that really appreciate their art, and I'm sure it'll be a great experience for you and all the artists over there.
Yeah, I hope so.
We're joined by Chris Abigt. She is a oil painter that you'll see at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair. Again, that's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week. More information on participating artists, including Chris, can be found at theannarborartfair.com. You can find more information on Chris's art, including see some of the pieces that she may be bringing to this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair on chrisabigtart.com for more information. So if you have any that are around you that are going to be with you in Ann Arbor, can you give us a preview of some of the pieces that you'll be bringing with you?
Well, everything that you've seen so far will be with me. I'll just, kind of give you a little snippet here. These plus a whole booth full of others that are already packed and in my van and ready to go.
What's great about your art too, Chris, is that there's different. There's a different focal point, a different attraction in each one of these paintings that really speaks to so many different tastes. If someone really likes texture, but they like a little bit more darkness, they can get that out of your pictures. If they like the manipulation of light or the manipulation of layering and the environment, they get all that in these different pieces, which makes them really interesting.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I really tried to create a real atmosphere for each painting that is familiar from being in the place. So I'm glad you noticed that.
Well, Chris, we appreciate having you on. A couple more minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else that we haven't spoken about just yet that you'd like our audience to know about your art, about your process, about what you'll be bringing to Ann Arbor, or anything else that we haven't discussed?
Well, I think we've covered pretty much all of it. I will be having original oil paintings with me. I also do reproductions on canvas, and I have some small paper prints that I will have with me too. Other than that, I don't know. I think we've covered it.
Well, that is great. We will see you at this year's Ann Arbor Art Fair Thursday through Saturday, July 21st through 23rd. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Yep, thank you.